Throughout history, some of the most unforgettable and heart-wrenching moments occurred on stage, where the world witnessed performers' final acts. From the tragic heart attack of Tiny Tim to the shocking death of Karl Wallenda while walking a high wire, these artists' final moments became etched in our memories. But what happens when life itself takes center stage and a performer's career ends in an unexpected tragedy? Stay with us as we revisit the heart-stopping deaths of musicians, actors, and athletes whose last performances left us in disbelief and forever changed how we see live entertainment. Don't miss the most shocking moments that shocked the world. Tiny Tim. Over the years, the world has witnessed unforgettable tragedies. Artists, musicians, and performers have met untimely ends even as they captivated audiences with their talent. One such moment was the bizarre and heartbreaking final performance of Tiny Tim. On November 30th, 1996, the music world lost one of its most eccentric and unforgettable performers. Known for his high-pitched falsetto, vintage wardrobe, and signature ukulele, Tiny Tim rose to fame in the 1960s with his hit Tiptoe Through the Tulips. His quirky charm captivated audiences, making him a beloved cult figure. That fateful night, while performing at a benefit concert in Minneapolis, Tiny Tim suffered a heart attack on stage, right in the middle of a song. He was rushed to the hospital, but doctors were unable to save him. Tiny Tim was pronounced dead at the age of 64. His dedication to old-time music and his unshakable stage presence left a lasting mark, ending a career that was anything but ordinary. Karl Wallenda. The shocking final walk of Karl Wallenda was a moment that stunned the world. On March 22, 1978, legendary high-wire artist Karl Wallenda attempted one of the most dangerous stunts of his career, and it ended in tragedy. At 73 years old, Wallenda was still performing breathtaking feats, defying both age and gravity. That day, he set out to walk across a tightrope strung between two towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico. As he stepped onto the wire, strong winds battered the line, making the already perilous walk even more dangerous. Despite his decades of experience and unmatched skill, Wallenda lost his balance and tragically fell to his death in front of a stunned crowd. The heartbreaking moment was captured on video, though out of respect, it was never aired. Karl Wallenda's death was a devastating blow to the circus arts, highlighting the life or death stakes of his profession and the fearless dedication he had to his craft. Owen Hart. On May 23, 1999, the world of professional wrestling was shaken to its core when Owen Hart, a beloved WWE superstar and member of the legendary Hart family, tragically lost his life during a live pay-per-view event. As part of a dramatic stunt, Hart was meant to descend into the ring from the rafters using a harness. However, a catastrophic equipment malfunction caused him to fall approximately 78 feet in front of thousands of horrified fans. Despite immediate medical attention, Owen Hart was pronounced dead at just 34 years old. The broadcast quickly cut away and never showed the incident again, out of respect for Hart and his family. His untimely death led to widespread mourning and forced WWE to implement stricter safety protocols during live performances, changes that continue to protect performers today. Owen Hart's legacy remains a poignant reminder of both his incredible talent and the fragility of life, even in the ring. Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin, the world-famous crocodile hunter, was known for his fearless wildlife expertise and boundless energy. On September 4, 2006, tragedy struck while he was filming Ocean's Deadliest, a documentary about the most dangerous marine creatures. While diving near Australia's Great Barrier Reef, Irwin approached a short-tailed stingray, an animal typically known to avoid human contact. In a rare and sudden defensive reaction, the stingray struck him in the chest with its venomous barb, piercing his heart. Despite frantic attempts to resuscitate him, Steve Irwin died at the scene at just 44 years old. The heartbreaking incident was captured on video, but it was never released out of respect for his family. Irwin's sudden death devastated fans around the globe, yet his legacy as a passionate conservationist lives on through his family and the Australia Zoo. His unwavering love for wildlife and dedication to education continue to inspire millions worldwide. Barbara Weldens, a gifted French singer, songwriter known for her haunting voice and poetic lyrics, met a tragic end on July 19, 2017. She was performing live at the La Fur Festival in Gordon, France when disaster struck. The 35-year-old artist, barefoot as was her custom, was captivating the crowd when a fatal accident occurred. Weldens reportedly stepped on faulty electrical electrical equipment during her performance, resulting in a deadly electric shock. Despite immediate efforts by staff and paramedics, she was pronounced dead at the scene. This performance, meant to celebrate her recent debut album, Lyron Ash Delum, became a devastating farewell. Barbara Weldons had already earned recognition for her talent and was hailed as one of France's most promising new voices. Her untimely passing cut short a career that was just beginning to bloom, but her music continues to move listeners with its raw emotion and lyrical beauty. Connell Bruce Hampton. On May 1, 2017, the improvisational music world lost a true icon. Connell Bruce Hampton, a trailblazing figure in the American jam band scene. Hampton collapsed on stage during a star-studded concert in Atlanta, held to celebrate his 70th birthday. Surrounded by legendary musicians, he was performing a spirited improvisation when he suddenly fell to the ground mid-song. At first, the crowd and performers thought it was part of his famously unpredictable stage presence, known for blending humor, surrealism, and spontaneity. But as it quickly became clear that something was wrong, panic spread. Medics rushed him to the hospital, but tragically, he was pronounced dead later that night. Connell Bruce Hampton's passing was not just a loss to music, but to the creative force who inspired generations of musicians. Through his fearless commitment to the unexpected, he had pushed boundaries and inspired countless artists to experiment with their craft. His death marked the end of an era for those who had been touched by his music and personality. Pedro Henrique. On March 12, 2023, the Brazilian music world suffered a devastating blow with the sudden death of Pedro Henrique, an acclaimed guitarist known for his electrifying performances and soulful talent. At just 39 years old, Henrique had already earned his place among Brazil's greatest musicians, celebrated for his dynamic stage presence and emotional depth. During a live performance at a music festival in Sao Paulo, Pedro Henrique suddenly collapsed on stage in the middle of a powerful set. Despite the immediate efforts of emergency personnel, he was sadly pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. The cause of death was later confirmed to be a heart attack. His untimely passing left an irreplaceable void not only in Brazil, but across the global music scene. Pedro Henrique's artistry, passion, and energy had touched countless lives, making his loss a sobering reminder of how fragile even the brightest stars can be. Valencia Prime. On September 12, 2022, the vibrant and influential figure in Philadelphia's LGBTQ community, Valencia Prime, tragically passed away during a live performance at the Taboo Lounge and Sports Bar. Known as Philadelphia's plus-size dancing diva, Valencia was celebrated for her charisma, confidence, and unforgettable stage presence. She was a rising star, loved by fans for her joyful performances and her deep connection with the audience. Midway through one of her high-energy shows, Valencia suddenly collapsed on stage. Despite receiving immediate medical attention, she was later pronounced dead at Jefferson Hospital. The cause was identified as cardiovascular disease related to atherosclerosis. Her death sent shockwaves through the community, sparking tributes and an outpouring of love. Valencia Prime's legacy lives on as a symbol of joy, representation, and inspiration, leaving a mark on the drag and LGBTQ communities that will never be forgotten. KK's Krishna Kumar Kunath. On May 31, 2022, the Indian music world was stunned by the sudden death of Krishna Kumar Kunath, better known to millions simply as KK. With his soulful voice and emotional range, KK had become a household name, captivating fans across India and beyond with his timeless hits in multiple Indian languages. He was a beloved figure, known for his ability to connect deeply with listeners through his music. That evening, while performing live at Kolkata's Nazul Manna Auditorium, KK suddenly collapsed shortly after finishing a performance. Despite being rushed to a nearby hospital, he was declared dead upon arrival. The cause of death was later confirmed as cardiac arrest, and he was just 54 years old. KK's passing left a profound void in India's music industry, and his fans, colleagues, and fellow artists mourn the loss of a legendary performer. His music continues to echo, reminding us of the soulful voice that shaped so many lives. Costa Titch. On March 11, 2023, the world lost one of South Africa's brightest musical talents, Costa Titch. Born Konstantinos Sobanoglu, Costa was a rising star in the global rap and dance scene, celebrated for his electrifying performances and dynamic fusion of amapiano, hip-hop, and Afrobeat. Known for his fearless style and high-energy choreography, Costa was quickly becoming a trailblazer in the music industry. During a live set at the Ultra Music Festival in Johannesburg, tragedy struck. Costa collapsed on stage not once, but twice. His second fall proved fatal, and despite immediate efforts by emergency medical staff, he was pronounced dead shortly after. While the exact cause of his death was not initially confirmed, some speculated that an epileptic seizure may have been the cause. Kostatic's passing left a deep void in the South African music community and among his fans worldwide. His unique sound and innovative performances will continue to inspire future generations of artists. Goodbye to Gravity on October 30th, 2015. A night meant to celebrate music and creativity turned into one of Romania's most heartbreaking tragedies. The metal band Goodbye to Gravity was performing at the Collective nightclub in Bucharest, launching their latest album to a room full of excited fans. But during the show, a stage effect triggered a fast-moving fire inside the venue. With limited emergency exits and poor safety conditions, the situation quickly spiraled into chaos. In the aftermath, 64 lives were lost, including 4 of the 5 band members, with many others injured. The tragedy sparked nationwide outrage and led to widespread protests against corruption and safety negligence. It ultimately resulted in the resignation of top political leaders and an overhaul of public safety regulations across Romania. Goodbye to Gravity's music now carries a deeper meaning, not just for their fans, but for a nation that will never forget the cost of overlooking safety for spectacle. Their legacy continues to be honored by those who still feel the weight of the loss. Silver King on May 11th, 2019. The world of professional wrestling was struck by tragedy when Silver King, born Cesar Quintero Gonzalez, collapsed and died during a live match at the Roundhouse in Camden, London. Known globally for his charisma, agility, and legacy in Mexican lucha libre, Silver King had also gained international fame for his role as Ramses in the film Nacho Libre. Midway through the match, Silver King suddenly fell to the mat. At first, both fans and fellow wrestlers thought it was part of the scripted performance. However, as time passed and he remained unresponsive, it quickly became clear that something was terribly wrong. Despite immediate medical intervention, he was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause was later confirmed to be a heart attack. Silver King was just 51 years old. His passing left a massive void in both the Mexican wrestling scene and the global wrestling community, as fans and colleagues mourned the loss of a man who gave everything, literally everything, inside the ring. These powerful, tragic stories remind us of how fragile life can be, even for the brightest stars. Which performer's final moment impacted you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want to hear more stories that will leave you speechless, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for our next video. At 74, Princess Anne Finel admits what we all suspected, coming soon.